link on the group and said people should check it out. And I was like, okay, this is another person building something here. Let me see what it looks like. And I found it very, very interesting. And since then, I've been checking out the product as they've been releasing new features. And it's been interesting to watch how it has grown and how, as the market is evolving, there are more use cases that meet the product. Do you get what I mean? So it's evolving such that the use case is meeting the product. So I would quiet now for Ugochukwu to make like an introduction of Devramp or who he is and how he came about the idea.
All right, thank you very much, Ultra. Hi, everyone. So my name is Ugochukwu. I'm a product engineer, backend focus for. Aside from tech, I love playing with remote. For example, I play Call of Duty a lot. So yeah. So what else? So I'm also currently the CEO and co-founder of Devramp, which supposed to be an AI-powered onboarding accelerator that we're using to, speed up the process between when you get hired and then you actually start contributing to that project. So yeah, essentially that's about it.
So yeah, so how would you describe like the journey so far, like since starting 6 months ago, and like what did you think about, and how has the product grown since starting out 6 months ago?
How would I describe the journey? Honestly, so last year was a big last year. If you had
Hey,
told me,
I can't hear you clearly. I don't know if I'm the only one.
hold on.
Dr. Okoinka, can you hear?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly now.
All right. So I was saying that. So last year was when I actually started to do Devramp full time. And if you had told me prior to last year that I was going to be a startup founder, I promise you, I would have said you were lying. Because one of the things I used to run away from when I was much younger was starting being a founder essentially. Because I have heard the headache that comes with starting a startup. And I'm like, bro, please do not carry this while I'm feeling like, so last year, I don't know what happened, but I feel like I just don't know what happened, but I just had this thought to do something that mattered, and I started to think about something I could actually build, and that's when the idea of Devramp came about. So I wanted to. Devramp was not even like when I was brainstorming. Devramp was not like the top three or top five of my ideas, but I don't know why I went for it. I just felt like I should just go for it. Because I don't know, but yeah. And later on, Rob I now found that okay, it actually resonates with the pain point that I had early in my career. So I don't think I mentioned at the introduction, but I attended Old School Africa, right? And after our graduation, right, I got an internship. I actually got two internships. The first one was for like 6 months. Then the second one, while in the second one, I was having like having trouble in the sense that like I knew what to do, like I knew what to do, but there's the speed of startup, this certain speed that startups are required to move with. And I was not used to that kind of environment. Like, I was just fresh out of the training. I'm learning. So I was not used to that kind of environment. Prior to that, I was just building projects. So I can do today and do not do tomorrow. And then if I don't want to do next, nobody will kill me. But this one, this one is a project, so you have to be up and doing. So it was good because like I was not catching up as fast as I should. Right? It really hits me. You get so both agreed to like end the internship very early. We agreed to end early, and so I took that experience and I was like, oh okay. I I actually wish that there was something that existed in the sense that would help developers. Yeah, help developers kind of like once you're coming into a code base, I already have an idea, a strong idea of what I want to do before I do it. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what inspired Devramp. There's also like a little bit of backstory as to why I actually started the startup. But I'll explain that one later.
This is like so. The thing is that every founder we've invited here has experienced the same pepper or talk about the same pepper from Celerify to Request Mechanic to Chromate of Gomatic. So now you of Devramp, and it's a common theme. And listening to we don't need to go and hear the guys like that are building $1 billion startups to understand the journey. Let's hear from the people in our community that are building something. So you built Gently. Gently is like a real estate transaction management platform, and now to AI. How because you are like one of the earliest in AI building stuff from on it, like something I say that is uniquely useful. Let me put it that way. Because when you see other people, when you see products building, and maybe so there's a startup that also is like that. There's right Nova in the AI space. There's also, but you are like the one that is building the big. Okay, the big guys are building Codex. They are building Copilot. Those are okay, fine. But on something that is in a market that is understandable. Because at the time I saw that product too, I was getting onboarded to a very large code base. I was lost. Ah, if there was something like this that you would just like import your GitHub repo into and have a architecture of how information flows, because software engineering is a huge part of it is knowing how data transfers. Like you get data from here, you do it here, you consume it here, you export it here. But for somebody who has not worked on a large code base before, that data transfer is overwhelming, and you are still needed to push a feature unless you are not useful. So this one is that if I have if I have a very good sense of how information flows, if I have a very good sense of how data moves from the front end to the back end, and if there's an intermediary system, I know everything. Like it was now, yeah, I think this informed my passion for it, bro. Have you pushed checking it sometimes until because even like me too, like life and work has been happening, but I remember the product, I go and check it and stuff like that. So how has the transition been from real estate non-AI to Devramp AI? Or what would you say are the differences, the similarities, and what particularly stands out from a traditional system?
I won't really say it's a transition per se, largely because um, Berkeley was not AI powered, and at the time, that time, we were just using AI as a what's it called now, as a sparring partner. So I was basically just using it for debugging stuff, right? So I want to solve a problem. I just sorry. I largely it's not really like a transition as you would call it transition per se because um Jointly was not AI powered. It was not
Okay.
AI powered, right? So basically, what we are doing at Jointly was, or what we are doing at Jointly is that we are looking for we're building like a platform where people can come and invest in properties across
Mhm.
Africa. So that was or that is like a full time job as it is. But when I wanted to actually start doing something, I wanted to do because obviously, right, everybody was doing AI, something that has to do with AI. Essentially.
Mhm.
And at that time, I was beginning to explore it. So I was beginning to, okay, do you know what? Let me actually try and build something that, that actually has AI inside it. So I've built a couple of products. So that's what I'm products, or those side projects before with AI. Before I now did Devramp, I think I built one interview prep app or website like basically. So it's kind of like you can feed the website with the what's it called now, with the job description of what you're trying to apply for, and then you can feed it with the role, and then it's just prepare more questions, and then it now ask you questions based on that role. So I use VAPI for sound. So the AI actually has a voice, right? So the AI will generate the question and then feed those questions to VAPI. The VAPI will now ask you those questions. So that it feels like an actual human interaction with that. So yeah, then I moved to Devramp, and that's where we are at the moment. So yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Can you hear me? All right, good. Thank you for the response. So it's like, mm, particularly what I meant was like trying out a new technology that is taking over, and you are quite in a position to talk about how you see the product like growing and how it is going to be adopted, what systems are going to change versus how we are going to like. Do you get what I mean by that? The whole
Okay,
system
okay.
without AI, new systems with AI.
Okay, so prior to AI, before AI, right, there was a lot of. Right now, I don't think anybody goes to Stack Overflow so much. And Stack Overflow was
Mm-hmm.
like exactly Stack Overflow was like the platform where you have any problem, you go there and you check if it has not been asked before. You can ask. Sometimes you ask and then log in with like a different account to now answer yourself wrongly, just so people can answer correctly. So you get. So I feel like the way we are doing, like the way software engineering is working, particularly, is changed, right? It's changing because um, the, the the software engineer of the current century would be somebody who is AI assisted, basically,
Mm-hmm.
right? So not exactly AI replaced, but AI assisted figures because AI has come and it's not going anywhere. At least not as far as I can, but it's not going anywhere. Figures.
Mm-hmm.
And with every day that keeps passing, right, you're going to have more of AI being incorporated into our daily lives. Figures.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly, I do see Devramp in a light where um, their current plans, because we are currently like in our phase A, but their current plans in our phase B to integrate like an ID agent so that
Mm.
all your context is kept within
Oh,
one space. So
oh,
if you're
that's
using your favorite IDE, could be cursor, anti-gravity, VS Code, your context is preserved within a particular space, and you don't have to, leave there and all that. Just trying to do that. So I do see AI. AI is going to get incorporated into our lives very much, like very, very much.
all right. That's a very awesome response, and you've touched on a new direction for the product properly there. So, and yeah, that's a very good segue into like my next curiosity. That's what I'll put it. So, over the past like 6 7 months, what has inspired you about this product that keeps you working on it? Because you ship updates quite regularly, quite often. So, what inspires you to like? I believe you have a day job too.
It's like
Yeah, no. Most people have day jobs and they run it. So it's not like it's normal. It's what I've been saying. Like everybody that comes so far. No. So I meant like so when after doing your day job, you still have to dedicate time to work on Devramp too. So if it's not something that inspires you, I don't think that's free time that you have. I won't call it free time because hey, software engineering takes a lot of time. So it's like you're actually like pushing yourself to actually put more features. So what inspires you to like show up for this product?
okay, so there's well, basically a lot that inspired us. That this thing inspires me to do better. So, like I said, right? Like I said in my introduction, if you had told me I was going to start a company or a
Okay.
startup at this, I would I would not. I would not. I'm telling you tonight, honestly. And this was me 2004. So last year, I don't know what. Okay, I happen to know what changed. And one of the things that changed was that I genuinely, I don't think I want to say this online because I know that somebody's going to. Anyways, it's fine. But I was so I watched a video or a movie last year about this guy. So the movie is how to sell drugs online fast. And there's this guy Moritz Zimmerman, right? And then the whole story about his girlfriend going to the US and coming back. So they are based in Germany. And then his girlfriend going to the US and coming back, and then she's changed. She doesn't want him anymore. So he now decides to be a drug lord, as the case would be, just to show her that he can change for her. You get it, and change to whatever she wants. You get what? My guy now, started making money from that, and then did not stop again. That's how he built like a whole drug empire. But I watched that movie. I wanted to do something that mattered. Exactly, I wanted to do something that actually mattered because I wanted to. I just wanted to do something that mattered, and my daily fuel is from the fact that I want to do something that, let's say, for example, I probably have like sitting down in the same space with somebody else. And this person now goes, "Oh, I use so app and that's helped my life. It has helped me do this, helped me do that." So that kind of thing, right? That that okay, you are doing something that actually matters and people are using it, and then it helps them be better at something. That's kind of like what gives me the joy to want to like, let's pick up this, let's pick up this. So yes, I do have to do that job. Then I don't know if you see my eye bags. I rarely sleep. So, they say no sleep for the weekend. And I just weekend. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. I know about two people on this course that really sleep because they're also building. They have their jobs and they're also building something on the side too. So I would say for one that what you're building matters a lot, and I've already shared the context to why I think so. So and now there's something inside as a founder knowing that this thing I'm building is useful. How do you and there's now an arbitrage between the customers seeing the value in what you've done versus where you are right now. So the closing of an arbitrage is what causes companies to have value. So let us say now, the first day you built Google, this is going to be $1 billion company. But hey, only about 2 people know, you and your roommates. But eventually, over the course of years, thousands and thousands and thousands of people catch up to that idea that you've had since day one. So yeah, the closing of arbitrage is what creates value. So right now, only a very few people. I'm very happy like we have more people on this call. So they've heard about Devramp. Other people on Qdevs too. They've heard about Devramp. So how do you think about this state that Devramp is? And I'm sure it's going to evolve into other products because hey, Africans are building like if you checked out a guy sent one of my friends sent me Dr. Kwemi Imika exactly sent me a link of try decide. It's an AI stuff on spread on Excel sheets for finance guys, and it's ranking. It has a global ranking. That means somebody from Nigeria beat something like that. So and it's also happening that we're having guys in the drone industry building. I think their name is Tetrahelix or something, where they raise capital to start building world-class drones. So it's becoming such that even this Devramp, I've not seen something like that in as a popular Western product, but it's looking like hey, if it's coming from here, it can as well be globally used in teams across the world as an easy onboarding product for developers. Not just developers. I'm pretty sure there'll be other flows in other industries that are very complex and technical. That this is just a dev aspect of it. So let's say you want to onboard people into an oil and gas project, for example, too, and you need to like make the flow very easy for somebody to go home and understand, rather than spending years on it. Fundamentally, human beings we exist just through information transfer. So, and I see Devramp as an information product. So, right now, where Devramp is versus where it can be, how do you like close that gap? How do you think about okay, this is where we are? Not a lot of people know us, but this is where we can be, and this is the kind of work we need to do to get there. So I don't know if you got my question.
Your question. Honestly, right? So for one, I think one of the that happened to notice how fast we like push updates, and even as fast as we push updates, it is still not enough to sense that there's still a lot of work to be done. And honestly, right, we're not building. You don't build the products for yourself. You build the products for users, right? So we build something and we are taking it out there because we want people to come in and think it. So their feedback now helps us to refine how we want to build it. So how we want to build it for them. So at Devramp in the light whereby it's standing on the same line as Copilot. Copilot. Largely because there's a context graph. I don't want to go into the technical, but there's a context graph underneath that helps you retain context. So the point is that there is still a lot of work to be done. We've done a large chunk of the work. So as the case now, you can take the product out there and then teams can use it. Engineering teams can use it. Startups can use it. Developers can use it. But however, people have custom configurations, and then once you gather each of these feedbacks, and then now you further refine. So as far as the work to be done is compared to what we have, so for phase one, I think we have pretty much solved at least 95% of all our problems. Then for phase two, which is the part where we now have to actually build an agent to help you keep your workflows very local and in one place, right? I don't think we actually started on that. I don't think at the moment anybody is looking for that kind of configuration right now. But as far as phase one is concerned, and regarding like the end-to-end, the foundation down to the tension of data as far as onboarding is concerned, I feel like we have actually solved and tackled directly.
So I don't know if you are prepared for this, but is it possible to demo the product for us, for people that have not seen it to have an idea?
Yeah, sure.
If you are okay, good.
Let me just share the screen.
Okay.
Let me know if you can see my screen now. It's coming up anytime now. Okay. All right. So this is Devramp. Basically onboard your developers 10 times faster. So I'm just going to go ahead and just sign in. I already have an account, and as per startup owner, I'm using the highest tier to demonstrate progress. To do this demo for you right now. So yes, I'm just going to go ahead and sign in. Okay. So at the moment I have this is your dashboard, right? Once you're creating an account for the first time, it would look exactly very empty. Like you won't have all of this total scans in progress completed, all of it's going to be like all zero, right? But so let me just show you how it works. So the first thing you're going to do is go to repository over here, and then you see the manage repository. Like I said, the first time it's going to be completely empty. So you go to add repository, and this space is for if your repo is public. Now at the moment, Devramp only supports GitHub, so we're still making plans to add other Git providers like Bitbucket and GitLab. But for now, just stick with GitHub. So the repo is public, you can just add it here. If it's private, you can just link your repository and then have access to all of that. But now the thing here is that I have most likely maxed out all of my repositories. If you have any repository I want me to scan, I will scan it for you right here and now. Does anybody have any repo at all? You can just paste the link in the chat and I'll just take it and just scan it.
Let me check mine. Or Dr. Ko, do you have anyone you can share?
Like, does it need to be public, or can you also do that for private repos?
You have to be public because for private you have to connect your GitHub.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think I have a public one. People can just transfer into one really public one, or like, what's the scope in which, like, if we went further, it could break the system. Like, is there like a limit so far of like?
Oh, no, there's no. Okay. Let me explain one. Okay, so there's one.
I've sent one.
Thank you. So there's no limit that you can do. So Devramp does not exactly store your code. So that's why there is no limit that's placed with you. Once Devramp studies the relationship between your profiles, and then he retains that context to be able to explain what he thinks that your code base is trying to do. I'll explain that very short. Let me just copy this and
Maybe we can do two repos. We can do like this one that Tola sent, and maybe try a bigger one. I think we can just take one like Mastra. Mastra is a public repo too.
Astra.
Yes, I'll paste it in the comment. Like Mastra, like they do agents.
Mastra. Oh, okay, Mastra. Yes, sir. So we should go to this one Astra here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on add repository, and repository found, because it's public, so repository found, and you now see add repository. So I'm just going to click on add. Now once you add it, where you will find that repository, it's not here. This is for your private. This is for when you connect to your GitHub. So when you add repository, you find them in your manage repository toolbar, right over here. So the first thing you're going to do is click on scan. If you click on view on GitHub to redirect you to the GitHub profile of that repo. So you can just do start scan, and then you see scan initiated. So you can go back to your dashboard and you see that the scan is, yeah. You can follow up from here, live scan, or
This is awesome.
the rest you watch it from here, anyone you want. Yeah. Like take it to long, just refresh. Okay, fine, it's complete. It's complete. Right. So the first thing we want to do is check AI documentation. Then you see finance Telegram bot. Now, the first thing you see is project overview, where it aims to explain what it thinks that it's trying to do. And now this one says that the finance Telegram bot is a Python-based application designed to provide financial information Telegram bot interface. The project to explain key features and capabilities, technical implementations, Eddie, and a few post snippets. Now you can download this so that you can send to other people, right? Just so you can get. This is basically like your README, but the technical read that's case for you. Now set up an installation. How you will be able to set it up and start using the code base on your own local machine. Then API documentation. So it was able to actually see that there were two API routes or API endpoints, /start and /chicken. So it's almost like Postman. This particular part is like Postman, but with more documentation essentially. Then finally, you have technical architecture, the technical components behind it, and what is powering it, and also the design pattern and architectural decision. So this is all downloadable, by the way. You can download this and send it to the person you're trying to onboard. Then, secondly, you go to architecture. Then you see
No.
the architecture between. Sorry, you can actually see how these files connect with each other. Kind of, not kind of, but actually how they connect. So apparently, these are the only two files in the code, finance.py and telegram.py. So it's a whole lot more, but yeah, I feel like if you want to actually see how this particular one works, might need another code base slightly bigger, it's more complexity.
Dr. Kabi posted the link of the master.
That again?
And please just give me a minute. I'm really close to getting it.
Let me.
There was a code base I saw.
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. And now for the time master, this time we're going to add repository. Public, so we're going to add that and scan. Wow, how large is Mastra?
How large? Boo is a really big. It's a really big folder. That's why I asked. That maybe there's a cap already. Wait. There's met reports. Wait, left. Wait. I'll send you another one now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
How large are these code bases, please?
I think that's another context.
That's another thing now. Wait, let me look for one that would definitely be smaller.
Can we find the one I sent to see if we can scan that? That's a Web3 lending platform. I work in Web3, so
Well, we don't cry.
And check the one I just sent. I think that
I feel like this one. I'll check it out. Okay. So Morpho Blue works. Documentation.
this would be very awesome. I think that if enterprise can pay for this at the level of our larger code bases, even there was a time last year that somebody asked me to make changes to Bitcoin code base. And where am I starting from? So like they cloned, they made some changes like to an assignment. But like there are so many files. Okay, I think I remember so many files. Where do you start from? So this is very useful, and I think that after this demo we'll talk about how you think about distribution and stuff like that.
So while the architecture is loading, you can explore other things. For example, code review.
Okay.
So now I can just do like a code review of that repository, for example. Just wait for that to generate. Now,
So
meanwhile, if you want to now gain context of, not bad. So as far as security is concerned, there are no security issues.
oh wow.
As quality is
So
concerned,
oh wow. Oh wow.
as
I
far as
need
quality
to
is concerned, there are 4 quality concerns. There's 0 performance concern. Well, best part, this is actually very, very nice score. Actually, very nice score. Yeah, then and to preserve context, you can always like ask the AI anything. So I can tag any repository that I've scanned, for example, and this one is
Oh, it's like even I can see substance. I've tested many repos on this project too. I can see substance clone there. Because we do code review in my company every week, and I think this can be a useful way of okay, put in your code. Let's see what you've done.
girl. This code is very large. It's very large. Large enough that the architecture that the code diagram is still taking time to load. That's a lot.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I said the code base is large. That's probably why the architecture diagram is taking time to load.
No, it's not a problem. See, I'm not even disappointed or anything that something's not actually error. I'm seeing like how this is beauty unfolding. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be coming from the time when it was like it's not working, so now it's working and everything. So please, it's I think I just feedbacks to make the product better, but okay. Is it Gemini you're using underground?
Exactly.
Okay. Google will win this race. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh
So
wow.
this is like for more context, you can actually just ask. But yeah.
Okay.
I will come back to this one later, I promise. So
There's no problem.
now,
There's no problem.
Cocoa of the onboarding, right? Because all this happens on a singular stage. Right? What if I wanted to have multiple people on my team? So the first thing I'm going to do is to go here and go to manage team. So under here, I have like 3 people already, although these are like 1-hour accounts that I'm using to test, by the way. But I have like 3 people already joined in on my team, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to log in on one of my burner accounts. Right. Then I'm going to switch to Scene Workspace. Now, these are already assigned. I've assigned this to my burner account. Let me show you how this works. So I'm going to go over here to onboarding, right? And then you'll see a list of your repos that you scanned already, right? So what the AI is now going to do is that AI is now going to generate those actual pathways. It will walk you through the onboarding itself, and then it will actually generate like a module that you can now follow. So for example, now this is like a repo called Scissors Backend, and it's the backend project. So I'm going to specify that this particular project is for backend only. And I'm going to generate an onboarding pathway for this project.
Yeah.
Once that is done, I'm just going to go here and assign it to this guy. So, and that's like the end. If I come here and I don't even need to refresh, it's already here. if I click on start pathway now, this is me, and now this is the what's the this is the manager, like the manager of the account, or maybe your team lead or your CTO, and this is the guy that they're trying to onboard. And if I click on start pathway, you see this, right? It's actually walking me through how to actually start contributing to the code base. So you can see that your first actionable step is to get the backend running locally. That's by cloning your repository, ready. Then it's now showing you related sources from where you can actually start your project from. So once you're done with that step, you click on start and then you mark it complete, right? Then take it to the next step. So somebody's raising their hands.
I mean, they would ask, there'll be room for question after. Okay, I'll drop the URL in the chat. So can you drop the URL? Ugochukwu. Let's drop the URL. Hey, I have it copied there, but Vasa was asking me to log in. That's why I didn't drop it.
By the time you're done. Now, remember, the total is onboarding. We're trying to train that time. So once you make a push, remember, you've most likely connected if you are doing like, what's it called now? What's it called now? If you're using this like a team, you have most likely connected your GitHub repo so that you can scan repository. So, can you hear me now?
Good. Yes, I can.
Yeah.
How did you know it went well?
Yeah,
I can.
Sorry, if you're working with a team, most likely you're already connected your GitHub, so you can actually scan your repository. So now to send how much time it took for your teammates to onboard. You can now go here, analytics, and now click on sync GitHub metrics. So here you see no pending metrics to sync. That means nobody has pushed anything at the moment. So when somebody pushes to your repo, it will calculate the amount of time it took from when you onboarded them to when they actually pushed, and then to now get that time to be. So yeah, that is officially the entirety of Devramp as the case would be.
Wow. Can everybody drop clapping emojis for Ugochukwu? This is really awesome. This is really awesome. So this is very useful.
It's too long to hear.
This is like a comment. I don't know how else to put it. That is very useful. I David, welcome. We are done. Ugochukwu just like finished demoing a product Devramp, and we are about concluding the stuff. But thank you for joining. All right. So now to my final question before everybody, like, we can open the floor for the audience to have the next 10 minutes to ask that question. So how do you think about distribution this product? Now this is quality, and if you want to build more features, there will always be more and more features. But at this point in time, we have like companies that can immediately onboard mid-level to junior developers, even senior levels. There are some reading code is, I don't know, you go to here. Okay, maybe we'll wait for him to come. Starlink users, probably when NEPA takes light, it goes up. So we're both rich and wait for it to come. So in the meantime, like, what do you guys think about the product so far? We can use that to give context to David that just joined. He can grasp a few things. So Devramp, I'll start to summarize what it is. Devramp is a developer onboarding system where you can put in your code base and your GitHub repo, it pulls your code, it gives you analytics about the code, it passes to information, how one end of a file or system is connected to another. Hey, welcome, Ugochukwu. So that was what he demoed for us. And the next question we are about to ask is how this very useful product that we believe should be in the hands of every engineering department, engineering side of the business should have. So how does it think about distributing it and putting it in their hands?
Okay, so my distribution plan is my distribution plan was to reach out to engineers, already engineers, because
Hey, your voice is listen.
yes, I was, this is so in my airport makes my voice sound muffled. So my distribution plan
Okay.
is to reach out to engineers primarily because engineers are the ones that feel this pain, right? I don't think any department feels it more than engineering, right? So my plan is and actively is to reach out to engineers or engineering leads, engineering managers, or head of engineering, CTO, because obviously, Devramp is a business.
Hello?
Sorry, B2B. Yeah. So Devramp is a B2B, right? B2B. And it relies strongly on teams. Do you get? So it's not like unlike what's it called now? Unlike a B2C app where I can use for just myself, right? It relies strongly on teams. So I can subscribe to Devramp and then invite the rest of my engineers to come and work with me on Devramp. Do you get? So the discussion plan was to reach out to engineering managers or actually engineers themselves who know that they can actually, speak to upstream and say, okay, hi, I think we need this. I think we can use this in our company and that this is actually going to help us. So yeah.
So do you have like these power stakeholders in engineering that you work with now, like maybe a beta test, a group of them already, or?
So at the moment, you are still speaking to people.
Okay, so you know what, like Akinola Ayomide on the chat is the CTO of this thing. So I would want you to speak with him after this call. And he works on very very large code bases. Okay, can you speak? Hi, Ayomide, we can't hear you.
Yeah, hello, please, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me, please?
You can hear you.
Yeah, hi, good job, really. Really impressive, right? When I was looking through your demo, I was just thinking, how the fuck, forgive my English, is he able to build such experience, right? Because I can see how much work and attention, like, to details that was given to it, and I really appreciate that. Especially when you're trying to attract developers, I think a lot of developers to looks at that in terms of, okay, how cool is, how usable the platform is, and the insight it gives. So from my own angle, I think the part that the way I'm looking at using it is not actually, in fact, the way you are selling it, right? In terms that, okay, you're saying this you're saying this from the angle of, okay, onboard developers, right? And I think at the moment, I'm not looking at taking a developer on the team, right? So people have gone through that process. But for me, I've been noticing some stuff in some other company I work with where, like, for instance, I have a CEO that is so savvy with AI. So if we work on projects and come to give me that, I need to bring it into the whole architecture of the system, right? And I don't understand what the fuck is happening, right? Because it's a bunch of AI. Now, how do I onboard myself on a project that AI has written this code? And I believe this trend will continue because more people will build the project and they'll be giving engineers, right? And because at the end of the day, when you build a random project outside, you want to put it into the system, you want to tap into the user base you have already, or like these are things that I believe engineers in large companies will be facing, because there will be engineers, AI can spin up projects. Yes, we have cloud code, we have all of them, we have Novibu. Yes, you guys will do it, but we'll still come and meet us engineers to actually improve this, because before you to be a lot of things, you need to improve it, you need to like, now engineers are no longer, like the way it's going, we are no longer building for Scribe, but we need to improve on projects that AI is doing, right? So my own use case from this product is that I want to use it to understand projects given to me, right? I want to be able to learn. So because if I don't learn, so because we as engineers, we can't work on systems we don't understand, right? So you need to understand it, change it, to update it. So I think that's the angle, because I've been battling with a bunch of it, right? And then yeah, so this I'm seeing it, using it and probably I can now give it more context to our main code base, right? Then ability to now teach me more about questioning that code base on how I can now import it of step by step, the way you did it, by the step by step processes. So it's going to walk me through it like I'm doing a documentation, right? Instead of like how to figure out myself, because there's a bunch of code that AI has written I have no context about. But if the AI itself, which is your platform, can do a job for me to also like understand this project, then I can probably expose my own other private code base and say, okay, this is the goal, and then give me step by step of how to work on my project. I don't know if you get me.
Yeah, I like completely understand you. And that's the thing, like apart from onboarding, there's also retention. Trigger for your own self, like having to onboard having to onboard your own self as a case, right? There are two ways you can do that. There are two ways that you can do that systematically with Devramp. Now, you can either speak to the upstream to actually subscribe to Devramp, or you can do this. You can normally in like startups or like or like when you're working for people, for example, you'd have to like sometimes you'd have to you can maybe like fork the repo. You can fork the repo, and you can now use that copy just in case they don't allow you sign into maybe it's like a private repo and they can't allow you to sign into Devramp. You can like fork the repo and then use that to now scan on Devramp. And then the funny thing is, let me share my screen for a bit.
All right.
So the funny thing is that remember when I showed you that you can when I showed you that you can actually assign pathways to your team members and all that. Now, if you don't have team members, the funny thing is that the pathways that you generate, you can also see it yourself and you can also mark it yourself. So I can come here now. This is the creator account, by the way. So you can just come here, for example, and it will load it, and then you still have the same thing step by step. So the same thing that is going to show anybody that you're going to onboard. You're not onboarding, it still shows you on your, because it is both for yourself and for anybody you want to onboard. It works both ways essentially. So yes, I feel like you can still use it at the same time, and that's.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ayinde, for the question. Thank you, Ayinde, for the question. Do we have any other questions among these? Because we are due in time. Yeah, Dr. Kwemika, can you have the floor?
Yeah, thank you so much, Ugochukwu. I'm actually curious about a few things. One is that do you have a team that you're building this with, right? And if yes, how have you gathered the team so far? If no, how are you thinking of gathering a team around you? Right? Because it is like first founder behavior to think that you can't do it all by yourself, or that you should continue to do it all by yourself, because at some point you become the bottleneck, right? You said that you don't sleep well, right? You have like eye bags, right? Like now they are like a badge of honor, but at some point you would realize that they are not, or that you get tired of it being a badge of honor. So yeah, so like, how are you thinking about gathering a team around you? Because I feel like there are a few things that people can already come in to help you do, and then also is that the part of distribution. I think that is great that you're on Qdevs, and I think that that's a great place to already find the CTOs and engineering leads that you need, or find people who can speak to the engineering leads that you need. Because as Olutola and Raymond has said, I think that is a great product that can already be in the market where you can already start to know the limits, right? So for example, you can already tell that, okay, with the way that you have built the product, if the code base has more than 10,000 lines, it will break. If it has more than 18 files or 18 folders, it will break. If a folder goes, or if it's a tree-like structure and it goes down to the third or fourth layer, it will break. All of those nuances would help you be able to build this product to solve the ideal users faster. And then at some point, like in the future, you can then start to charge. And those people will be willing to pay because they've seen how you have carried them along in the journey and have really moved fast and fixing their bugs. But like my question is, do you have a team around you? How are you thinking of like building a team around this? And yeah, like just to commend you coming out here and like speaking to us about it is it's incredibly innovative, and I'm really waiting for you.
Okay, so to answer your question, if I have a team, yes, I do have a team. I think one of them is on this phone, or maybe he just left. I can't. His name is Ezekiel. I think he probably just left or something. But yes, so I have a team. We're currently around 4 people at the moment. And yes, you are right. First found that behavior. At first, I wanted to solo dev the whole thing, but sometimes you speak to people about it, and they're like, "Oh, it's nice. Can I join you?" At first, I was kind of like resisting the whole thing at first, but I had to open up eventually. So we're currently a team of 4, and there are 2 technicals, 1 operation, and 1 sales. Is it 1 sales? Yes, 1 sales. So that's how we have evenly distributed the workload among each other. So I sleep a whole lot more now compared to when I started doing this, I promise. But yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Veronica, for the question. Do we have any other person? All right, David Chitu, can go ahead. David, we can't hear you. All right, probably is going to join the conversation soon. So, pending the time David joins, if he does, the last thing to wrap up. David, are you back?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can. Can go ahead.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I came in a bit late, so I really don't know what the product is about, to be honest. I just want to just just say, looking at what you guys have been doing, like I just want to just say congratulations and well done. I know that building product is not easy. I don't want to say I'm a good school. Well done on what you've done. I really don't know much, to be honest, but it's really nice to see people. I love what people are building. But I also just want to mention too that building a product is also it's hard, but it can be easy in the sense that a lot of people can build products and build similar things. But the biggest issue is actually selling the products. That you can have all the technical skill in the world and people will not use your products, even if it's good. And one issue, because when I see the Ugochukwu talking, I see that he's a good developer or something like that. And one thing I've noticed with developers is that they are good at sales, but not very, very good sales because of the way they think. In the sense that they usually try to talk in terms of like facts and this is how your products work. This is A, this is B, blah 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 blah. But like sales is like what you want to push to people you are selling to is the outcomes. So it's like, okay, this is what this will help you do. Not necessarily this is how X and B work. Many people don't know how products works. I don't know, obviously it's a B2B company, so developers will need to know how it works in any way. But like when you are selling your product, even though you've built something great, I think try to focus on what the outcome your products can give to those people. What can they do? How can they revolutionize what they are doing? What are the things that they will see? Try and frame it. Yeah, find percentage, at least try and estimate some things and things like that. So I just want to just say that and congratulations, well done. You guys keep building, and yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, David, for the comments. Yeah, I think an example is Ayomide talking about how he can use it, and Ugochukwu like described how the product can enable him use it. So maybe I think the salesperson on their team too can maybe do the job of, because he's there because probably Ugochukwu needs help on that area. So he can do the job of interviewing, speaking to it, demoing, and hear how they use stuff. So for example, now there was a time. Do you have time for this story? I want to tell. It's take like 2 minutes. So there was a time we were on a call in my company, and I have a sales background, by the way, not engineering. And one of the users was hesitant on. So my CTO was demoing the product. This is how it works. You can find one here. I just felt like an hesitation. Why is like I did not know because it worked perfectly. Then at the end, when they were about to end the call, I told him to ask her what will make her not use the product. And that was when he started speaking. He said, well, I will need to be able to transfer a large sum of money within another person. So if there is no ability to do that, I cannot like move volume. So while the product works excellently, ability to like sense intuitively sense what the customer needs is a different angle of thinking, as David has said, from engineering. So I think that that's just an example to like describe what I think David meant. But I think that you figure it out eventually, because at the end of the day, most founders will become salesmen. You have no choice about it. You can be an introvert, you can hide behind the screen. If you want to make your company, nobody can sell the product better than you. You may not have the sales skills in the beginning. Maybe these are people who have co-founders. So you have a sales co-founder that can push it, understand, communicate technical terms to you, because that you are building a technical product. So you understand your own technical concern that hey, what this person is asking for it's not affordable because we run out of tokens or we'll do this. But customer doesn't care about tokens or this timeline, this engineering is going to stretch us, or we need to really implement this or that or that. Then on the other hand, to the person also understands that the customer needs this, because when they do this, they can make this amount of money, and when they make this amount of money, they can patronize us more. So yes, those two sides of sales and engineering are quite important. So I don't know if anybody has any other question so that we can end this. Okay, so there's no other question. I think to wrap this up, I want Ugochukwu to give a final commentary. So the commentary will be that, so if I were the CEO of Devramp, how would you say, what would be your advice on helping the company reach the next milestones? Because everybody can comment, but nobody knows your company better than you. So yeah, you have the floor, sir. Thank you very much.
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I did not hear that at all.
Okay, so I said that if I were the CEO of Devramp, yeah, you will give the final commentary. So if I were the CEO of Devramp, how would you advise me to think about helping the company reach its next milestone?
If you were the CEO of Devramp, that's
Yeah,
nice.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, if you were the CEO of Devramp, now it feels very easy to give you the advice. But basically, I'm just going to give you the same advice that has been going around, and it's the fact that we have a structured team around you, because have the right people around you. I do think that, for one, I am grateful for my co-founder, because my co-founder is more or less the CEO. Not more or less, it's actually the CEO. And outside of here, most of our pitches that we've done in other places, for example, we managed to pitch somehow. So now it was not like a big crowd, but we managed to pitch somehow at one shot. and we got like a few people interested in Devramp. As at that time, we're not at this phase. You get. So he managed to get us into motion. How he did, I do not know. Now, most
Oh.
operations that we have, as far as regarding how we have to target markets, that's if one went to and do that. So I feel like first of all, having the right people around you, they help you work with the movement. Because like you guys said, every founder is going to be a marketer at one point, and that's actually true. I feel like I probably still have to go and okay, sorry, you are the co-founder in this, you are the founder in this case. So you probably have to go and refine your technical skills and match them with what's it called now? With match them with marketing skills. But then have the right people around you and just be crazy. So just be crazy. But to give like the closing notes, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity because I did not take it for granted, I promise. And then I want to thank every other person that joined the call. Thank you for staying with me up to this point. Thank you for your feedback. I have listened to them, I have noted them down, and I promise you I'm going to implement them step by step. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So the advice you gave me, wave up your hats as the CEO and implement them. So till next week, guys. We do this every week. So we've had this is our fourth session. So thank you, Dr. Kwenyika, for it's done that does the design. Thank you, Williams, who were here on the technical department, and every other person that joined. We are having more people. Thank you, Philip, for the reminder. Hey, I would need more help doing this because there are interesting things we could do. We do build up. So this demo that Ugochukwu did on this call, we can have it build up from 3 days ago, where we are releasing poster on how it works, things about the founders. But yeah.
Sorry. I have to go right now. I have another meeting right now.
Okay. Okay. So bye, guys. Bye, guys.
All right.
Thank you.